Hello, it's Paul, and as the title of the video befits, today I want to talk about sponsorship. And first thing to say is, I'm not sponsored. So what? Right, recently there was a comment left on one of my videos. You must be sponsored by Red Paddle. And as I say, I'm not. So I replied to the comment, well, no, I'm not. But thinking about it and looking back at some of my footage, I can kind of understand why someone might think that. In all honesty, big red logo here, another one on the base of the bag, another one on each side of the paddle, and the paddle I use a lot on the 11.3 Sport has got a big red logo on it. And in fairness, I've got a lot of red paddle kit. But no, I'm not sponsored. I have no desire to be sponsored. I equate sponsorship with employment. There are, if you like, in the social media world, I guess, two different things. One is like sponsorship, and one is gifted or in association with or whatever. Sponsorship to me tends to be a sort of full-on thing, like I say, as if you're working for the company that sponsors you. And then you've got things like one-off situations where a company will give you something to review or to try or to experience. So as an example with me, in a couple of instances, Outdoor Master have given me something. They gave me a pump and they gave me a bike helmet and asked me to do a video review. I said I wasn't prepared to just give some gushing review that said, oh, it's fantastic. I was going to give my honest opinion, and they said, yeah, that's fine. Had another conversation with someone that I did a tool review for, a mitre gauge. And so that is the sort of gifting or gifted or whatever, goods provided free on a single basis. Sponsorship, as I say, to me is more like, say, a sports person is sponsored by, to use cycling as an example, Colnago or Bianchi or someone like that. They get provided with a bike by the manufacturer, and they use that bike in all their competition, and the hope is of the manufacturer that the sports person is going to win races and thus propel, literally, their piece of equipment into the forefront of the public gaze. And no, that isn't me. Also, you get sponsorship for people that do like big adventures and stuff like that, like trekking across the Arctic or paddleboard round the UK or something. Big stuff. So, no, not sponsored. Quite open to doing reviews of stuff. If people want to send me things and I'll review them, I'm happy to do so. But let me also talk briefly why I don't think I would get sponsored anyway. And again, that's not a complaint, that's just a statement of my understanding of the reality of it. Sponsorship particularly is all about return on investment. Well, all of it's about return on investment. What does that mean? Well, it means if I, as a manufacturer, give something to somebody, I want to generate some sales through that. So if Red, for instance, were to give me something sort of fairly large, like a paddleboard, there's a lot of value in that. So let's set it at a mid-range of £1,000. Yes, most of the Red stuff is more expensive than that, but let's use 1,000 as a round number. that's got to generate a lot of sales to get back that £1,000 of investment. And it's not just they've got to sell one board for £1,000, they've got to sell a lot of boards because it cuts into their margin. So their margin is the profit that they make, and I've no doubt they make a reasonable profit, because why would you be in business otherwise? I can answer questions on that actually, because I've been there and done that, but never mind. So it's about return on investment. Would anybody, Red or anybody else, get the return on investment for giving something to me? Well, I would say that's highly questionable, in honesty. Excuse the train in the background. And this is no reflection on my audience. Thank you very much, audience, subscribers, viewers. Very grateful for your viewing. This is not to say I'm not. However, this is not the most exciting channel on the internet. I don't set out to be an exciting channel. I set out to give people information and to answer questions that I can't find answered anywhere else. Like things like easy ways to stand up when you're a beginner. And all I want to do is relay my experiences to other beginners, in the hope that some of it might help them on their journey. I don't do big marathonic ventures. I don't do massive lake crossings or big sea journeys or anything like that. I just potter about up and down the river or the canal, depending on where I am. As I say, I'm very grateful for your viewing, but I think you'll admit it's not the most exciting thing in the world. So there's the answer, really. If I'm not going to generate that much interest in my videos, then any right-thinking manufacturer might look at it and go, well, yeah, that's not going to generate us any sales. Let's not bother with that. And I'm fine with that. I don't have an expectation of sponsorship or gifting or free gear or anything like that. I'm perfectly happy to do the free gear thing, as I say. Have I dropped enough hints about that? But I've got no expectation of it. I was extremely surprised and grateful on the few occasions that it has happened. So there you have it. Not sponsored. Don't particularly want to be sponsored. Quite happy to do reviews of stuff that people send me if they would like. It will be on my terms. I will give my honest opinion, and at the end of it, if you want it back, you're going to have to pay the postage or the mailing or whatever to get it back, because I'm not going to do it at my cost. Oh, and one other thing before I go. When I got into conversation with the person that left the original comment, they actually said, well, you must be sponsored because you've got all this red gear, which is really expensive. You could have done it so much cheaper. And yes, that is true. I could have done it cheaper part, and I'll deal with that in another video. So there you have it. Hope that's helped. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.